Ilia Topuria didn't just walk into this sport. He charged into it like a man with a purpose forged in the dark. Born in Germany, raised in Georgia, matured in Spain, Topuria isn't a fighter you can put into a box. He is a product of multiple nations, but he fights like he belongs to none, a man with no borders, no limits. When you watch Ilia, you see more than just precision. You see a hunger so raw it threatens to tear through the octagon every time he steps inside. This isn't just a sport for him. It's not about clout or money or fame. It's about proving something. To the world, maybe. To himself, absolutely. There's a reason they call him El Matador, not just because he finishes fights, but because he orchestrates chaos with poise. He dances with danger like a matador facing down a raging bull, calm, unflinching, lethal. And he's not here for a moment. He's here to reign, to carve his name into the Mount Rushmore of this sport. Ilia Topuria fights like every round is his last, like he's been waiting for this his whole life, and in many ways he has. And then there's Charles Oliveira, the walking embodiment of perseverance. There was a time when fans counted him out, when he was seen as just another name on a long card, a guy with talent but not heart, a man who could be great but wouldn't be. But Charles flipped that narrative on its head. He rose, and he rose violently. He became a symbol that no matter how many times life knocks you down, if you get up with purpose, you're still in the fight. He didn't come from riches. He came from the favelas of Brazil, from struggle, from sickness, from pain, but he turned it into strength, into poetry, into violence. Every time Charles steps into the cage, he carries the weight of every doubt ever spoken about him, and he crushes it under the force of his will. This isn't just a fighter. This is a man who broke through the walls of doubt and turned critics into believers. Ilia Topuria isn't here for your applause. He's not here for celebrity photo ops or the bright lights of Vegas. He's here to take what he believes is already his, with the kind of unshakable belief only born from hardship. Dedication isn't a word in his dictionary. It's a way of life. For Ilia, fighting is not about entertainment. It's survival. It's the expression of every sacrifice he and his family made. Every mile traveled across continents, every night spent dreaming not of riches but of legacy, every moment spent building an identity not tied to a flag but to a fire inside his chest. You don't get to this point by talent alone. You get here through obsession, through isolation, through those nights when your body says enough but your soul screams back, not yet. Ilia lives in that space. He thrives in it. He's the kind of fighter who doesn't just train to win, he trains to erase doubt, to dominate, to leave no debate. It's not enough for him to outpoint you, he has to finish you, make a statement, because he knows greatness isn't earned by doing what's expected. It's built by doing what others fear to try. He wants immortality, not on Instagram, in the annals of fighting history, and he's willing to sacrifice everything for it. Charles Oliveira, a legacy in blood and grit. On the other side stands a man who has already tasted gold and the blood it costs to get there. Charles Oliveira's journey isn't one of overnight stardom. It's a story of grind, of heartbreak, of people writing him off over and over, only for him to rise again, stronger, smarter, sharper. And that's what makes him so dangerous. There's a difference between a fighter who's never lost and one who's lost everything but found the strength to return. The second man is far more terrifying because he knows what rock bottom feels like and he no longer fears it. Charles Oliveira is the scarred champion, the warrior who climbed the ranks, not with hype, but with havoc, with one of the most lethal arsenals the sport has ever seen. A symphony of violence delivered with the grace of a veteran and the heart of a street kid with nothing to lose. Dedication? You want to talk about dedication? Look at Charles's body, the years of wear and tear, the wars he's fought, the nights he could have quit, the moments where lesser men would have bowed out. But he didn't. He kept going, not because he had to, because something inside him refused to be silent. He's not just fighting opponents, he's fighting his past. Every time Charles steps into the octagon, he's stepping over the shadows of who he used to be. That fragile fighter from the early years. He's gone, reborn. What's left is something forged in the flame of redemption. This fight, it's not just about regaining gold, it's about sealing a legacy. The crown at stake, and what it means. To the casual fan, this is just another main event, another matchup. But to those who see beyond the surface, this is everything. This is the future versus the rebirth. The undefeated firestorm in Topuria, a man who has smashed every challenge thrown his way, against the grizzled, battle-tested Oliveira, a man who has risen through doubt and destruction to carve his name among legends. For Ilia, this is the biggest test of his life. Not because Charles is unbeatable, but because this is where the mythology of Topuria is put on trial. This is where the world finds out if the man who calls himself El Matador is truly ready for war against a general who's seen every kind of battle. This fight demands every ounce of discipline, every whisper of focus. Ilia has lived like a monk in pursuit of this moment, and he knows a win here doesn't just make him champion, it makes him undeniable. For Charles, this is a resurrection wrapped in opportunity. He doesn't just want the belt back, he wants to silence every doubt that ever followed him. He wants to remind the world that legends don't fade, they evolve. He's not the same man who lost to Islam, he's better, sharper, more dangerous than ever before. This isn't just a shot at redemption. This is a mission to remind the world why they once bowed their heads when he walked to the cage. You can't teach this kind of dedication, you have to live it. Topuria has crafted every piece of his body and mind for this one outcome. Not to do well, not to earn respect, but to dominate. To take the belt and hold it high like a man who always knew it belonged to him. Charles has been to the mountaintop. He's seen the view, he's felt the power, and he wants it back. Not because he needs validation, but because he knows who he is when the lights hit. He knows the world is better when Dubronx is at the top. He's willing to bleed for that moment again. They both are. Legacy in motion. This fight is legacy. In motion, in real time. For Ilia Topuria, this is his chance to etch his name into the lineage of legends, to prove he's not just the next big thing, but the thing, the one who changes the division forever. For Charles Oliveira, this is the fight that tells history. Don't write me off. Not yet. I still have chapters left. That's what makes this beautiful, because no matter who wins, the world wins. We get to witness two men who've bled, broken, rebuilt and sacrificed for the right to stand across from each other in that cage. And no matter how it ends, knockout, submission, decision, one thing is guaranteed. We will not forget it. This is GHUFC, not just a fight channel, but a vault of legacy, pain and purpose. Here, we don't just break down fights, we tell the stories that built them. The late nights, the broken bones, the dreams forged in silence and sacrifice. If this gave you goosebumps, if it made you feel the fight before it even happened, then you're one of us. Hit that like, light up the comments with your prediction and subscribe. Because at GHUFC, we don't just witness greatness, we narrate it.